Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name's Devin Adams. I'm a Fortinet instructor here in Tempe, Arizona for Dynamic Worldwide, and this is my Impromptu Labs demo for our VDOMs. All right, so this is the second video. In the video that I did earlier, we talked about our goal, and that was me and FortiDuck here. And look, he's all businessed out now that we're a managed service provider. And we went ahead and we moved into the Acme building. And then we're going to take advantage of VDOMs to carve out parts of our FortiGates and sell it to customers. So we turned them on in the last video too. And then we talked a little bit about navigating when VDOMs were configured. But FortiDuck, quack, he actually managed to make his first sale. So this is Bob. He's from Packets R Us, and he's agreed to purchase our services. So now, here's the thing about VDOMs. VDOMs can have certain topologies. All right, so there are independent VDOMs, which I did in an earlier video when we were doing high availability. And then there's also a management VDOM, so that's where all the internet traffic might go out like a managed VDOM before it hits out the internet. That way we can provide services, right, without them having to purchase their own circuits. And then we also have a fully meshed or partial meshed VDOMs, and that's where we have like a same organization that might be carving out the FortiGates for the sake of department boundaries or, yeah. So we're going to take one of those at a time. So it turns out that Mr. Bob here from Packets R Us did not want our managed services per se. He had his own internet connection, but he'd still like to participate in the FortiGate. So in this video, our goal is going to be to carve him out a chunk of our FortiGates, give him admin access, and also to assign some interfaces. Then we're going to log in as Bob and configure it for the first time so you guys can see what it's like to be what's known as a prof admin. And now a prof admin is like a super admin for your VDOM. So it is different from the super admin role because the global settings of the FortiGate are going to be hidden from our customers because we don't want our customers to be deacon in the global settings. And the global settings are going to include things like the FortiGuard services and also like the NTP server and maybe the things like the host name of the FortiGate. So, and obviously to carve out other admins and resources. So we're going to keep that hidden. So let's just go ahead and do it. So in this first video, we're going to do an independent VDOM. All right, so it's not going to have any of our managed services. That's going to come next. So quack. Quack. Yeah, I play with my ducks. Whatever. Let's go ahead and log in. So, and let's make this happen. All right. So here's my FortiGate. We've already signed the contracts, right? And we're just ready to make it happen. So the first thing we're gonna want to do is we need to create the VDOM. All right. And to create the VDOM, it's not too bad. Okay. As you can see, we are a super admin, so we have access to both our management VDOM, which is the root, and also our global settings. From the global settings pane, we're going to come over to system. We're going to go to VDOM, and we're going to carve out Packets R Us a VDOM. So we're going to hit create new. All right. And we're going to call this Packets R Us. Easy, right? And this profile mode, proxy mode, this is inspection modes. So Flowbase is going to be the most resource friendly. And guys, starting with 6.2, you can now select proxy or flow per firewall policy. So that's pretty slick. All right. So, but for right now, that's going to be our customer. So we're going to hit OK. All right. And we talked a little bit earlier about knowing your global resources, okay? And make sure that you set limits on these things according to whatever contract that Bob the Duck over there signed up for. And to accomplish that, and obviously that's going to entail things like, a business partner sitting down and figuring out what's fair and pricing. So I'm not going to do any of that. But to set those limits, we're going to edit the VDOM after it's created. And here are those limits, guys. Isn't that cool? So if you don't set them, though, it's going to be first come, first serve. So we're just going to pretend here, all right, that we are going to give them something like, 5 firewall policies. And they're able to create something like 10 address objects. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, I'm obviously not going to go through all of these guys, but the minimum number is 20. Okay, that's only fair. Anyways, but yeah, but do you get what I'm saying, guys? And what's neat about this is not only will it keep from our customers starving out our FortiGates, all right. More importantly, it's gonna be, you know, money. I'm doing this from like a business point of view, right? We just don't want them to have like free reign. So we could give them something like number of VPN connections, number of users they can create for those VPN connections, and we can go on and on and on. So here we might do some logging quota. You know, we'll give them a gig out of our 30 gigs, things like that. Okay, so. Anyways, not too bad though, right? So there we go. Okay, so we've done our constraints, and then if packets are us want more resources, they can go ahead and sit down with business suave duck here and negotiate different pricing. So anyways, okay, I'm having too much fun with this scenario. So mission accomplished. Okay, now how do we actually get that to the customer so they can start using it? So step number 2 is going to be interfaces. All right, so we're going to go over to network, and we're going to pick out some interfaces. Now, if you remember from the first video, if you guys watched it, our FortiGate's sitting here in the basement. We were being fancy by calling it the MDF. That's our data center. It's next to the boiler. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, we went ahead and we maxed out our FortiGate VM to 18 interfaces. So we're just going to pick a couple of interfaces here for Bob to use. All right. So we've guaranteed him 2, and he's bringing his own internets, and that's what we mean by an independent VDOM. We're going to hand him an ingress, an egress. We're going to hand him his admin rights, and he can take care of the rest. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and port 6, right? It's free. And we'll get in there, and we'll say, hey, you know what? That now belongs to Packet R Us. Okay, and for the alias, your customer should be able to change that alias name. So I'm just going to say, you know, packets are us, port 1 or something like that, with confidence that Bob's going to go ahead and change it himself. And then we'll probably give him a temporary IP address with admin access so he can access it from his management PC. Of course, he's going to have to change the IP addresses to his own IP address scheme. So, but for right now, we're just going to say, hey, you're going to be 10, 10, 20, right? 254, that's too many for the octet. Okay. And then he can go ahead and get HTTPS access, ping access, and SSH. All right, no big deal. Okay, and then we'll let him do everything else. So there you go. They got one interface, and it now belongs to them. Okay, now we're super admin, so we're going to have access to all the VDOMs because it's our box. So you're going to see here shortly how that's not going to be the case once we hand it over. So this is going to be Packet RS. I'm just abbreviating port 2. Okay, we're going to hand it to Packets RS. All right, and I'm actually leaving this blank because they can set it up themselves later on. You know what I'm saying, guys? So all right, so that is our second goal. So our first one was to carve out the VDOM. Our second was to hand out interfaces. The next step is going to be giving Bob his access. All right, so how do we accomplish that? So we're going to come down here to System. We are going to go to our administrators, and we're going to give Bob a username and password. And then we're also going to tell him, hey, Bob, you need to make sure you change this password once you get access, right? So you can, you know, administer your own box. So we're going to say, Bob, we'll give him a temporary password. All right. We're going to say this is Packet R Us admin. Okay. And here's where it's important. He's going to be a prof admin, and a prof admin is like a super admin, but only for his VDOM. All right. And we don't want to give him access to the root That's our management one. We're going to give him packet RUS access. Okay. And then we'll let him do whatever he wants to do. And guys, honestly, that is it. Okay? That should be enough for Bob the Duck to get his own business taken care of. All right? So what happens next is here we go. Quack. Bob's going to come here now and he's going to do the physical cabling. So he is going to take his, his own internet connection and plug it into his own port 7. All right. So he's going to have his own terminating equipment, but he's also going to take that port 6 and he's going to plug it into his own equipment. All right. So, and then from there, he can go ahead and, set up his own IP addresses. All right. So now in GNS3, obviously, it's a network simulator. So we're just going to come in here and we're going to pretend like Bob put an IP address there for himself. All right, so here we go. And I think we did what? 10, 10, 20? Okay, 10, 10, 20, 2, right? And then the default gateway, which is going to be the FortiGate, will be 10, 10, 20, 254. And we'll just use Google's DNS because Google's awesome like that. All right, there we go. No. Okay, there we go. Then we hit save, we hit apply, we hit OK. And then Bob turns on his PC and Bob's going to log in and Bob's going to do his business. All right. So from a managed service provider's perspective, we're technically done doing the provisioning. Now we're going to go ahead and do the perspective of Bob, the customer of the VDOM. All right. So he goes ahead and he boots up his PC. Okay. He's going to go to the IP address that we gave him, which will be 10, 10, 20, 254. I thought that's what we gave the FortiGate. Was that not the octet that we gave it? Let's take a look. Was that not the IP address? This is why I should rehearse things. Okay, so here we go. Interfaces. All right, port 6 had what? 10, 10, 20, 254. Oh, I did HTTPS. Oh, snap. Yeah, I forgot to ask for a secure connection. Okay, here we go. HTTPS. All right. And that's still not working. That is awesome. So did I plug that into port 6? That should be port 6. Let's hover above it and take a look. Yeah, that says port 6. And then this guy right here, let's check its connections. So let's do a IF config, right? And it never got its IP address. Well, that's cute. Yeah. So you guys see here, I just have a link local address. So I must have not configured that box right. So I'm going to go ahead and power it down. All right. I'm going to go back to my configure. I'm going to come here to my network settings. And I'm going to see what I did wrong. So 10, 10, 22 for my address. I mean, it looks okay. Did I screw something up there? I did screw something up because I had DHCP also turned on. Son of a monkey's uncle. Hey guys, I purposely record my screw ups. All right. So, there we go. All right. Nice. Good times. I must have turned on DHCP before creating these things. Now let's see if we have an IP. There we go. Okay, good times. There's the FortiGate that I love. All right, so this is Bob. He's logging in for the first time. That certificate is expected to be untrusted because it's self-signed. All right, but he's going to log in as Bob and the temporary password that we gave him. And it's like he has his own FortiGate. Look at this, guys. Isn't that cool? There's no VDOMs to select because he only has access to one VDOM. He has his own dashboards, right? He has his own FortiView. Let's go over to the network tab. Let's go to interfaces, okay? He can set up his own SD-WAN. All right. If you wanted to, if you had enough interfaces. And there are the only ports that we gave him. All right. So the first thing he is probably going to do is pick his own IP addresses. Okay. I'm just going to leave it like that just for the sake of keeping this video not 4 hours long. But let's go ahead and go in there as Bob and name it. Okay. So we're going to rename the interface to something like, trust or LAN or something like that. Okay, something that makes sense to Bob. And also, he's probably going to want to turn on a DHCP server for his end users, right? So, all right. I mean, there you go. And in reality, he's probably going to carve out VLANs, right? And he's probably going to have like a management interface because we gave him physical ports, but he still has the ability to do his own VLAN interfaces. He'll still have the ability to, you know, what was I going to say? Um, carve out his own logical interfaces. So he does not need to, be restricted to those physical ports. All right. So, but we'll just keep it simple for this example. All right. And now he's going to set up his own darn internet connection. So he's going to have to follow his own ISP because he didn't want to use our managed services. So he's just going to call it his WAN. All right. And then he's going to call up his internet service provider and get an IP address that's public. That's going to be our make-believe public IP address. All right. And yeah, he should be good to go in that sense, even though he probably should test that internet connection. Now, before he does it, he's going to have to put a static route in there. So here we go. If you don't know where to go, I want you to leave out of my WAN. All right. And the next hop is going to be 10, 200, 3, 2, 5, 4. All right. And by the way, this D mark here is really a pfSense box that's just doing routing. I mean, I put interfaces on it, so that's all that really is. All right, guys. And then Bob the Duck here is just going to go out here and do execute ping google.com. All right, there you go. So he set up his VDOM, and it feels like his FortiGate. Is it his FortiGate? No, it's his VDOM. We'll even see in a video coming up, Bob can carve out admins underneath him, right, that are also POF admins. So, sky's the limit. All right. So, and then obviously, he's going to want to go to interfaces. He's going to want to, I'm not interfaces. He's going to want to write a firewall policy to get out to the internet. And then depending on whatever we give him access to, according to a service contract, he can add like antivirus, he can add things like, web filtering and stuff like that. So, and do you guys see the G there? Okay. That G means global, and that global, okay, came from us as internet service providers. That's something else I'm going to have to do further down the road. So, but we can provide the end user, our customers, predefined profiles that they can use. So all they have to do is select it and use it, or they can go ahead and create their own. Okay. So like I said, just for the sake of simplicity, all right, we're just going to say, do the normal antivirus. All right. And someone emailed me a question like, hey, how do we apply antivirus? I mean, that's it, guys. You just match the traffic up here. Flow is the best performance wise. Okay. And then you just select the profile. So I'll dive deeper into that in later videos, but here we go. We'll just say internet access. All right. And then he's going to pick his LAN to his WAN. And here we go. Now remember, we gave him an X amount of these objects to use. Okay. So he's going to be a good duck and make his own address groups. Okay. So and the whole point of this, guys, is who's responsible for this. It's not us as MSSPs. It's going to be Bob. He's just renting the VDOM from us. All right. So he can say LAN subnets. That's really crappy. Maybe splash it with a little color here. 10, 10, 20. All right. This is so you can use it in routing later. All right, VDOM. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. Because we only gave him a handful of a handful of addresses, and there must have been ones that were already pre-configured here. I went a little bit too lenient on the number of address objects that he could use, so we'll fix that. So he's going to call up and yell at us, quack. All right, sure, we'll just do the all-to-all. All right, now here's the thing, because he's responsible for his own internet, he's going to have to turn that on here too. So we're going to talk about when it's a managed VDOM, you know, they might want to not NAT it and we manage it and we push it out to the internet. I'm going to do that in the next video. So here we go. We're going to hit OK. All right. And then Bob is going to go ahead and test it. So how does he test it? Right? He's going to bust out another PC. Okay. So here we go. Let's just open up our GNS3 here. We'll get a web term box. That's all these PCs are, by the way. All right, and this is going to be one of his end users. So we'll just say packets are us user, user one or something like that, right? And then if you guys want to get fancy, it drives me nuts not changing the symbol. So we'll just say, you know, it's a laptop or something. And then we come over here to configure. And then here we are going to want DHCP because Bob set up DHCP, right? All right. There we go. Bloop. I didn't really think this out much. Okay, there we are. All right, here we go. And then we plug it in, and Bob should be in business. All right. And let's see if it gets an IP address, and let's see if he gets out to the internet. Okay. Google.com. Everything's really slow because this is all running off of a laptop, guys, but hopefully everything's trying to load up. There we are. See, it's loading. See, we got internet access. Yay! Good duck. I don't even want to know what that brings up. Okay, anyways, it's working. So I wonder if the antivirus is working. Let's go to EICAR. This is where you can download a signature without actually downloading a virus. And let's see if it picks it up. So, all right. Come on, you can do it, buddy. All right, why use this? Because we don't want to download a real virus. Sure. And then we'll go over here to download. And hopefully his VDOM picks it up, which it did. There you guys go. All right, so there you go. We have our first customer, and this is known as an independent VDOM because Bob's doing all the work. All right, so I know the video is going kind of long, but what does it look like from our perspective? And by the way, Bob has a job to do because that's fully customizable, and that's just janky. Anyways, not a part of the lesson, but packets are up and running. So, but what does it look like from our perspective, right? Well, let's go ahead and log into our management PC and take a look. So, as we can see here, if we go over to our system settings, all right, and we go to our VDOM, we'll be able to take a look at the resources that his VDOM is using, all right, and also all of those resources. And he probably called us up and chewed us out. I don't even want to know what that sounds like. Quack, 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 whatever. So, so we're going to up his limit of his address objects, and that's kind of going to be our job as service providers, right? So, but we can see the utilization here. We can see how much memory he's taking up. Okay, for packets are us. We can take a look at the interfaces that were assigned to him, and if we drill down, okay. See how the firewall addresses are automatically maxed out, and that's because of the ones that come out of the box. So that was kind of jerkish of us. So you know what? Sorry about that, Bob. We missed a digit there. Okay, so And me and 40 Duck just starting out as service providers, we will probably have to like, fine tune how many resources we delegate out and for what price. He's the businessman, I'm not. So, all right. Also, these columns here are customizable too. So you can take a look at the sessions. You can take a look at how many sessions they're spitting up a second. Okay. And you can really keep an eye out on the utilization. All right. So, um, pretty darn cool, huh, guys? I think it's pretty darn cool. Okay, so there you guys go. We signed up our first customer. So in review, we went ahead and we carved out the VDOM. All right, and then after that, we gave them interfaces, and then after that, we made our prof admin account for Bob, and then we essentially turned it over, and then it was up to Bob to do the rest, and it's known as an independent VDOM. So in the next video, which I'll probably record tomorrow, or the day after that, we're going to do a management VDOM, and that's where we take care of the internet connection, we take care of the circuits, we even write some of the firewall policies, and the end user is just using the connectivity part of it. So it should be pretty exciting. So all right, guys, that's the end of the second video. Hopefully, someone found that helpful. All right. If not, I'm sorry for wasting your time. And we'll move along, and I'll see you guys next time. All right. Peace.